You are listening to a story on Sirio Stories, where your IQ is always respected. Enjoy the story. Do you, the readers, believe in a parallel world? In the summer of 2025, on a short video platform, I saw a high school classmate continuously posting several disgusting videos. In the morning, he posted a list of a beautiful warrior's dying wishes. At noon, he posted a video of 10 celebrities in my hard drive. In the evening, he asked, Trump Duck and Elon Musk, are they in love? What made me want to go crazy was that he was posting using my own account. I planned to find that person to get to the bottom of the matter. But unexpectedly, I heard news. The person was female, and she had passed away a year ago due to a sudden heart condition. Flashback a few days to the moment I discovered the issue with my account. It was an evening in May 2025. I was attending an online class, planning to take a short break to open the short video app, when I saw my account full of strange messages. Opening them, I discovered that my account had commented on someone else's post, replying to a question as follows: if your girlfriend and your dream girl both fell into the water, would you choose Superman or Batman to save them? The answer was full of mockery, in the sarcastic tone of a girl. Only iron-headed straight guys would ask such stupid questions. Sitting in the online classroom, I was stunned after reading it. Which little girl had sneaked into my account to write these things? I deleted the comment, changed the password, then searched online to see if anyone else had experienced the same thing, but found nothing. I sighed, preparing to exit the app. When the comment reappeared, I deleted it again, thought for a moment, and decided to report it to the help center. But just as I opened the message section, I almost dropped my phone. My own account had sent a message to the help center 5 seconds ago. The content was, why are my comments constantly being deleted? Seeing that line, my blood boiled. Was this little thief deliberately provoking me? I took a deep breath and typed, you're quite the actress, hacking my account and then pretending to be the victim. Huh? Not long after, my account replied to itself. Huh, so I was hacked? Why are you deleting my comments? I typed, this is my account. Who would be bored enough to hack this video app? For heaven's sake? The other party immediately replied, you think you're the help center, you idiot? I am a fire-breathing dragon. And you are mentally deficient. I was so furious my hands were shaking. Normally, I trash talk like a storm in games. But now I was being left speechless by a few words from this person. I threw my phone onto the desk and yelled with my head tilted back, I am going to find you, no matter what. When I picked up the phone, a new message appeared. Come on then, you account-stealing dog, do you dare? I immediately typed back, if you dare, tell me who you are. The other party replied instantly, without any fear. Nina, Class 12A6, San Patricio High School. If you're so good, come fight me. But I'm afraid of you. I froze. She's a high school girl? I angrily responded, you just wait, I'm reporting you to your homeroom teacher for using your phone during self-study hours. But as I was about to send it, I suddenly paused. San Patricio High School. Isn't that the school I attended last year? The name Nina also sounds familiar. I remember someone in the neighboring class mentioned her. She even shared the same birthday as me. Did she fail the university exam and is repeating the year? I deleted the message, only sending one sentence. You wait. But the message couldn't be sent. Immediately after, the help center replied, please do not harass other users. Your account has been temporarily restricted from commenting. So, I was thrown into the dark room. Back at the dorm, I messaged my former class president. Hey, are you still in contact with Nina? He replied, yes, why do you ask? I answered, I need to find her about something. He typed for a long time, then sent back a line that made my entire body freeze. But, Nina passed away. She had a heart condition and died right on the university entrance exam day, June 7th last year. My heart seemed to stop. My hands trembling. I unconsciously pulled the blanket over my head. Who is playing such a cruel joke? Why would someone impersonate a dead person to take over my account? The class president added, Nina was an orphan. After her death, Only an old man from the welfare institution came to handle the funeral. And after that, no one knew anything more. I tried to reorganize everything. At first, I thought I was being teased by a hacker. But now, nothing makes sense anymore. I searched all my old friends, asking about Nina, to see if anyone had ever used her name online. But everyone said she was quiet, not close to anyone, and didn't hold grudges. So, could it be I am really talking to her soul? At 1 in the morning, I sat motionless on the bed, my hands shaking as I held the phone, not knowing whether I should be afraid or believe. All the photos my friends sent me were pictures of Nina. That name, that face, suddenly became both familiar and spine-chilling. That night, she even entered my dream. In the noisy hallway, I was running down to the canteen to buy food, when I heard someone call from behind. "Paul." I turned my head. It was a girl with a sweet, delicate face, her eyes curved and bright as if smiling. She smiled as brightly as sunshine. "You're the one who stole my account, aren't you?" I woke up with a start from the dream, cold sweat breaking out on the back of my neck, and quickly opened my phone to check. The comment restriction was still active. 24 more hours until it expired. The next morning, I decided I couldn't sit still anymore. I opened Excel and seriously created an analysis table. Current situation. My account is being used by someone else. That person is using the name of a deceased person, Nina. After asking more than a dozen classmates, I ruled out the possibility of a cruel prank by old friends. I listed 3 plausible hypotheses. A. The hacker is the director, Mark, at the orphanage. Missing Nina. He used her name to right wrongs online, hacking other people's accounts and calling himself Fire-Breathing Dragon. B. The hacker is the wife of director Mark. In memory of the child she considered her own, she used the name to run rampant on TikTok. C. The hacker is Nina herself. For some unknown reason, she became a soul, still lingering in the mortal realm, wandering on TikTok, harassing me. To decipher these 3 possibilities, I decided to start the investigation from the living world. I asked the former class president for director Mark's phone number, and called immediately. We started talking about the girl who didn't get to grow up. When he learned I was Nina's classmate, Mr. Mark was visibly moved. He recounted that since her death, no one had ever asked about her. Prompted by me, he talked about the girl for 3 hours, finally saying, "That little girl still owed me a large sum of money. She promised that if she earned money, she would come back to renovate the institution." Mr. Mark gave a forced smile, his voice tinged with bitterness. Hearing that, I also felt a lump in my throat. But I still remembered my main purpose and probed. "That's a touching story. But have you ever posted it on TikTok?" "What, is TikTok a newspaper?" I was stunned. I asked his age, and found out he was nearly 1 foot in the grave. Needless to say, he definitely didn't know how to use the internet, let alone call himself a fire-breathing dragon. Finally, he recounted that after Nina passed away, he helped handle all her belongings, including a mobile phone. In that moment, I felt like a lightning flash went off in my head. I asked for the exact model of the phone, and it was true. That was the phone I bought last year, at a used goods market. Meaning, I accidentally bought Nina's phone. And when I logged into TikTok, it caused her data and mine to synchronize. The restriction period ended. I nervously held the cross necklace I wore around my neck, secretly praying as I typed the TikTok password. Honestly, if I had time, I would have bought a black donkey hooves necklace to wear as well. I opened the app. There were no more messages with the help center. But she had just posted a new video. A scene of the San Patricio High School campus, with the caption, "Do you have a secret you can't tell anyone?" And the comment written from my account, "You changed the password and email. What can I do to you? Come and bite me, you account hacking jerk." I was both angry and chilled. I gritted my teeth, then tried typing, "Nina, what year is it on your side?" Not long after, she replied, "It's 2024, May 19th. I almost dropped the phone. "Oh my God, are you still alive?" I took a deep breath, then slowly typed, "Nina, listen to me. I am from May 19th, 2025. You died on June 7th. 2024. Right on the university entrance exam day. That summer, I bought your phone. And for some reason, our TikTok accounts connected. 10 minutes passed. A new line appeared. If you want to write a novel, use your own account. Don't make things up. I resigned myself to entering the phone's serial number. This time, she was silent for the entire class period. Before finally messaging back. Then tell me. How did I die? Saving someone, or in an accident? Was it heroic? I replied. You died from a heart condition. You only have a few days left, so try to exercise more. The message came back quickly. Who are you? I have never told anyone about my heart condition. My hands trembled, my nose stung, and I typed. I'm sorry, Nina. I really am from the future. Prove it. I thought for a moment, then typed. When you were 9, you still wet the bed. The director said you peed in the shape of Hello Kitty. After that, she remained silent for a long time. In the evening, there was finally a response. Thank you, stranger. I will try to exercise. And try to survive that day. Please tell Mr. Mark not to talk nonsense. Or I'll come back at night and cook his turtle. And how should I repay you? I quickly replied. I only have one request. From now until that day. Don't use this phone anymore. I really can't stand having a living ghost in my phone. Nina messaged back. But it's my new phone. I added a line. Anyway, you're about to die. Yes, I know. But I will still thank you. You account hacking fire-breathing dragon. I looked at that message. My emotions mixed. Who knows? Perhaps one day, Nina would share something else with me. Not just an account. But a parallel world. How can I escape this ghost? I deleted all my selfies and random pictures. My heart full of anxiety before going to sleep. The next morning, I woke up very late. Still groggy, my roommate, David, curiously leaned over and asked, Paul, you look very pensive lately. I started. What do you mean? He chuckled. I mean the stuff you're posting on the video site. I immediately had a bad feeling and hurriedly opened my phone to check. If you knew you were about to die, what would you do? When life is down to just a few days. Do you want revenge on the world? After Orochimaru was sealed, how did he go to the bathroom? That morning, sitting on my bed, under the sunlight, I looked like a person on the verge of death. This couldn't continue. I grabbed my phone. Patiently messaging the spirit of social vengeance, Nina. A message of advice. Stop posting that stuff. If you're about to die, you should exercise, not play on your phone all day. Before long, she replied. How dare you? I won't forgive you even if I become a ghost. I almost cried. Sister, please, can you just leave me alone? Nina ignored me. And posted another video. I opened it to watch, still a scene from the school campus. With the caption. First item on the wish list, go to the movies alone. I commented. If your heart is weak, don't stay up late, remember to exercise. She replied. I know. About one movie's worth of time later. I opened TikTok again. And saw she had used my account to post another video of the school scenery, with the title, Can a regularly gym-going dinosaur using only melee weapons defeat a tiger holding a rocket 50 meters away? On the side, David was curiously pressing his phone close to mine. Hey, what is this? I waved my hand, my face serious. Don't ask. If you ask, it means I've gone mad. In the following days, I tried every way to escape Nina. Reformatting the phone, factory reset, changing SIM cards. But she still posted bizarre things using my account. And I, in this year 2025, was heading down a path of social death and lifelong introversion. Meanwhile, on the other side, Nina's wish list grew longer. Item 2. Use pocket money to eat Japanese food. Item 3. Report a fake Japanese restaurant for selling spicy hot pot. Item 4. Pull off the supervisor's wig. It turned out he really wore a wig. Item 5. Go up the mountain near the school. Stay up all night to watch the sunrise. She even added, if I stop posting, it's probably because I died suddenly from staying up late. Wish you happiness. And I, her distant friend, was living miserably at the construction site, carrying bricks, mixing cement, and measuring data every day. A year after graduation, every day I regretted choosing civil engineering. I thought I would be sitting in an office designing houses. But instead, I was rolling around on a dusty construction site. And that callous, fire-breathing dragon was happily eating Japanese food, snatching people's hair, and skipping class to watch the sunrise. I no longer wanted to pay attention to her. Until one day, after finishing the data measurement, I wiped my sweat, opened TikTok, and saw she had updated the sixth wish. Stay up all night again. To fully see the sunrise I missed the time before. I couldn't help it, and commented, "Didn't you say you were going jogging?" She replied, "It's fine, I got caught skipping class and had to run as punishment." I desperately replied, "I don't care what you do. But can you please stop posting videos? It's all nonsense." Nina wrote back, "But I want to become a millionaire in income." I replied, "Got it. I'll burn you a lot of ghost money with $1 million denomination." I thought, maybe everything started the day I registered my TikTok account. I typed, "Nina, what day did you create your TikTok account?" She replied, "May 17th. I ran into you right away." It turns out we didn't just share a phone across time, but also registered on TikTok on the same day. Could that be why our data connected? And if we both deleted the account at the same time, would everything end? That afternoon, at 5:30, we arranged to delete TikTok together, hoping to end this bizarre connection. But it failed. From the moment I entered the first digit of the verification code, everything around me was covered in white mist, filled with a strange, distant feeling. As I was about to finish entering the code, I felt, if I continued, I would die. I let go of my phone. In the mist, an indistinct figure appeared. She walked in the street, wearing a baggy school uniform, looking down and playing with her phone, then raised the device to take a picture of the schoolyard. Right then, a fierce pain struck, and I returned to my university dorm in 2025. I was stunned as I recalled. Just now I had seen my high school, seen Nina, and even myself from 2024. When the notification sound rang, Nina sent a message. "It's useless." I didn't reply, and hastily typed, "Nina, help me with one thing. Find the Paul of 2024. And tell him not to choose this major." That's right. I had thought I couldn't save her from her heart condition. But I forgot there was another me in the past. A naive Paul, who didn't know what life lay ahead. She replied curtly, "Too troublesome, I refuse." Just like that lazy girl, she didn't even think about it. No matter how much I pleaded, it was useless. Then, when I exited the chat interface, I almost died of anger. Because she had posted another new video with the text, "What does having a secret crush feel like?" I was speechless. I didn't expect that little Nina even knew how to fall in love early. I tried to curb my anger and clicked on Nina's post, which she published with enthusiasm. According to what she wrote, Nina originally intended to confess her feelings to the boy she had a crush on only after the university entrance exam. But recently, a strange old guy came and told her she wouldn't survive the exam. Therefore, her only wish now was to confess to her longtime crush early. Nina wrote that the feeling of unrequited love is when he is clearly standing right in front of you, but it feels like he's a million miles away. At the end of the post, she also attached a picture. It was the road I had just walked on earlier. She didn't photograph the school, but the back of a boy. I looked closely. The familiar uniform, the familiar bag, the familiar white shoes. My entire body was shaken. Damn it, the person in that picture was me. The person Nina had a crush on in 2024 was me. My first reaction was, yet, she just refused me, and called me a strange old guy in the comments. I took a deep breath, trying to calm down, and opened the application's messaging interface. I deleted all the messages I had sent her, and then sent a new message. "Classmate Nina, are you really not going to help me? By the way, we're schoolmates. You can easily find me." She replied concisely, "Get out of the way, I have to go confess to the person I like." I gave a bitter laugh in front of the screen. "It's fine, I have a lot of connections. You help me, I help you. If you don't help, I'll sever all ties with your grave." "Are you crazy? Why should I know you?" she grumbled, but still obediently asked back, "Who are you?" The midday sun shone through the curtains. falling on the screen, on her every line of text. My name is Paul. The student from the classroom next to yours. It was true. It was me from 2024. And that year, I was just an ordinary student. Never thinking any girl would like me. I typed a line. That name sounds like a very talented boy. He's just average, she replied. But his form when playing basketball is very good. In the room, the strange old guy, that was me, was holding the phone, laughing coldly and then laughing foolishly. I messaged again. So let me reintroduce myself. Classmate Nina. I am Paul from 2025. Former student of class 14, San Patricio High School. I attached a clear selfie. Then, I nervously watched the screen, waiting for the reaction of the girl who once had a crush on me. Finally, she replied. It's really magical. But you seem to have gotten a little uglier. Paul. I typed back emotionlessly. Can we delete this account? After that, we began a rational, objective discussion about her crush on me. I concluded. Nina liked me because of admiration. Perhaps admiration for my handsome face. Perhaps my superior intelligence. Or perhaps my fit, 8-pack physique. Or, all of the above. She immediately refuted, saying it was only because I was very hardworking, very optimistic, and always tried to live well, despite being average. I objected to her rebuttal. Then the two of us debated until 3 in the morning, finally reaching an agreement. Step 1. I helped Nina successfully confess to Valverde 2024. Step 2. She helps me convince Valverde 2024 not to register for the engineering major, and gives me the winning lottery numbers. When the fateful meeting concluded, the sunrise of the next day had arrived. I opened my phone, deleted the post-hospital wish list that Nina had posted, and wrote a new line. The plan to conquer myself officially begins. Nina also woke up then, and suddenly messaged. Hey, I just realized something. What is it? I asked. I originally planned to confess to you before the exam. But now, I'm already talking to you. So, what's the difference between confessing to the 2024 you and confessing to the present you? I was silent for a moment, then replied softly. All right, I agree with you. You've changed, Paul, she whispered. Don't talk as if I'm a bad person. So, how should I pursue you? I thought for a moment, recalling what I used to fantasize about in high school. I told her. I once imagined a beautiful, aloof girl who would come onto the stage at the year-end party with flowers, wearing a white veil, and say, Hello, Paul. I've been noticing you for a long time. Can we try to get to know each other? Nina laughed out loud. Oh God, did a dog write this script? I'm not some rich heiress. At most, I was a former class vice president who got demoted. Then you can play another role. Like, a ninja, for instance. From the Second Great Ninja War. Can you be serious? Who uses anime tropes for a confession? High school boys all like it. Enough, she interrupted. It's almost time for break exercises. Wait for my good news. About 2 hours later, Nina came back, messaging. The result is debatable, but the effect was quite shocking. I was immediately interested and typed. So, did you meet me? I don't know if you remember me, but the supervisor definitely remembers me. Then she continued. I did exactly as you said. Ran straight onto the stage. Said I was a female ninja. Looking for you, the next Hokage. Whether you become the Hokage or not is unclear. But now I have to write a self-criticism report. I laughed. Haha, tell the teacher off. Don't joke, that's the supervisor. You know what he looks like. Besides, I'll say it again. I am not a troll. But you are Charizard, fire-breathing dragon. Nina was silent. I held my phone, intending to retrieve my memories of my thoughts in high school. But I was too tired. Staying up late last night, waking up early this morning. I fell asleep at my desk, still holding my phone. In the dream, new memories appeared. I saw myself, from a high angle, on the schoolyard in the summer of 2024. As the basketball awards ceremony just ended, a long-haired girl suddenly ran flying onto the stage. Everyone was stunned. The supervisor panicked, thinking something was wrong, and quickly ran up to pull her down. After a brief struggle, Nina managed to grab the microphone. And in front of the whole school, she shouted, "Class 14, 12th grade. Paul. I've been noticing you for a long time." The whole arena seemed to explode. The supervisor was so frightened that he thought she was about to break the school's third rule and pulled her down hard. But Nina still wouldn't let go, stretching her neck to grab the microphone again. And from the high angle, I clearly saw her expression. She seemed to forget her lines, was silent for a few seconds. Then, for some unknown reason, Nina suddenly yelled, "I am a ninja, all of you. Come back to me." In that very moment, the homeroom teacher of the economics specialized class froze, and the entire crowd of students fell silent. In the May breeze, Nina stood on the stage, her baggy uniform shirt fluttering wildly in the wind, looking exactly like a tragic heroine stepping out of an epic. The supervisor sighed with relief. "Ah, so it's a case of impulsive youthful enthusiasm. I thought it was early romance." Afterward, the teacher carried the female ninja off the stage like a log. I stood in the crowd, seeing my 2024 self, pale-faced, clutching the sleeve of my deskmate, sighing and thinking, which nerve of this girl did I manage to hit? For heaven's sake. Waking up from the dream, I laughed out loud. During the next class, I opened my phone and commented under Nina's video, "I just had a nap and dreamed I synchronized with my 2024 self." "You mean, you really saw what happened that day?" She replied immediately, "Yes, that's right. You were quite majestic that day." "All right, stop it. You charged straight onto the stage. I told you to be quiet." Haha, oh my god. Who holds a mic and declares themselves a ninja in the middle of the schoolyard? But amidst the humorous lines, I read a hint of peace and release in her words. It was as if she had truly let go of everything. I messaged back, 2024, "I was very impressed with you." She replied instantly, "Really? Truly?" That brief dream pulled me back to 2024 and made me remember many other things. Back then, there was a group of thugs around San Patricio High School. They often blocked the road, harassed female students, always targeting the quiet and gentle ones. The police were helpless. I remembered this and quickly messaged Nina, "Be careful. There are scumbags lurking on the road behind the school. Don't take that route anymore." But when I dreamed again, I saw she didn't listen. In the dream, she wanted to buy a Naruto figure to give to my 2024 self. If she didn't take the shortcut behind the school, she would have to go a very long way around. She stood at the intersection, thinking for a moment, then still chose that path. From my perspective as a god, I saw her wearing her backpack, skipping along, until she noticed someone following her. Her face turned pale. Remembering my warning, it was the group of thugs who specialized in harassing female students. So she called the police. 10 minutes later, my 2024 self appeared, wearing gloves, his face covered in wounds. Nina was astonished. "Why are you here?" I gasped, replying, "I just saw you walk into this alley. And those guys followed you. I only had time to stop them. As a result, I was beaten half to death. But at least Nina was safe." From then on, I secretly followed and protected her. The girl who once declared herself a ninja in the schoolyard. And then, being misunderstood by the police, I was arrested. Waking up, I gave a bitter laugh. Watching a sitcom every night in my dreams is quite fun. I opened the short video app and commented, teasing her, "Well done. You even know how to get the person you like into a police station?" Nina immediately refuted. "Who told you to secretly follow me? I just wanted to give you a gift to shorten the distance." "Who knew it would turn out like this?" I messaged back. "Actually, there's another way. I'll tell you the winning lottery numbers. You give them to my 2024 self. I guarantee he'll fall head over heels for you." She replied instantly, "I refuse." "Why?" "Because he's not that shallow." "Do you mean I'm not shallow?" "That's right." "Are you sure?" "Yes, sure." "All right then, I'm going to class." Before she left, she sent a message. "Giving me the lottery numbers is useless anyway. Because I won't be alive for much longer. If you have assets, you could leave them to Director Mark at the orphanage." Nina immediately messaged, "I still refuse." "Why?" Because director Mark is not that shallow either. I was so annoyed I locked the screen and put the phone in my pocket. One class later, I reopened the app and found that my account had automatically posted a new video. The content was, "What is the true meaning of currency?" The voice in the video was Nina's. She used my account to say, "Money cannot prove happiness. It only proves that we once existed." A philosophical statement that made no sense. But in the comments section, she recounted her own story about a wealthy family that fell into decline. Her father going bankrupt and committing suicide by jumping in front of a train. And her mother following suit by jumping off a building. I considered commenting, "You're so selfish. At least let me get my revenge first before telling sad stories." But as I was half typing, I discovered that no one had liked that post. I carefully checked her profile. None of the videos had a single like. I tried asking David to check. He could still see the video. But when he tried to like it, the system reported an error. It was then that I suddenly understood. Nina was trapped between two worlds. She was like a small boat on a sea of memory, drifting in solitude, screaming amidst the flow of time, wanting to prove she had once lived. And only I was the only person who could still reach her. So I left a comment. "You speak very well." Before long, she replied, commenting on your own post, "You are such an idiot." After that, the series of days of the Paul 2024 conquest strategy began between Nina and me. Because to change the outcome, I completely sold out my past self. To Nina, my 2024 self dreamed of a perfect girlfriend, a cold-hearted heiress, a time-traveling princess, or a beautiful female ninja from the Hidden Leaf Village. Or simply, the girl who runs over, gives me the basketball that rolled off the court, and smiles, saying, "Here you go." When passing the basketball, their fingertips briefly touched, love quietly sprouted. I told Nina those things. Therefore, she proactively sought out my 2024 self, apologized for the declaring myself a ninja on the stage incident, and said she wanted to watch me play basketball later. My 2024 self only looked at her with a confused expression and didn't reply. Nina was not discouraged. She patiently waited for me to appear on the basketball court. She crouched there, alone, waiting for an hour, then 2 hours, constantly changing her seating spot, but still didn't wait for the moment the ball was hit out of bounds. In the dream, seeing that scene, I truly understood how insensitive and foolish I had been back in 2024. Waking up, I scolded her for being an idiot. But Nina messaged back, "No, we're very close now. You even initiated conversation with me." I found it strange and asked, "If I ask you to leave me alone, what do you say?" I said, "Paul, rest assured, I won't forgive you even if I become a ghost." According to her account, my 2024 self at the time could only silently return to class. But during the next class, I sought her out again. The two of us bought snacks at the school supermarket, then sat on the asphalt field, pretending to have a picnic. I asked her very seriously, "What exactly do I have to do for you to finally stay away from me?" Nina lay down, lazily replying, "Just let nature take its course. I'll disappear soon enough anyway." That sentence stunned me. I picked up the bottle of mineral water, took a small sip, and asked, "You used to be such a good student, why have you become like this lately?" "I just quit studying," she said, "because I suddenly understood many things." "What things?" "You'll understand in a year." I slightly frowned. "You're very strange, Nina." She didn't answer, and the school bell rang. Just as she was about to get up, I suddenly called out, "Hey, can you teach me how to skip class? I want to try it once, to the Ferris wheel." After Nina told me about that incident, she messaged on TikTok again, asking, "Paul, what do you really want to do?" I looked at her message and remained silent. In my senior year, there were too many things I wanted to do. Many dreams I hadn't had time to fulfill. The ideal girlfriend in my imagination. The secret basketball game during class time. And the trip to the Ferris wheel 3 years ago. I was supposed to go with my parents. If the car accident hadn't taken them from me. I was too tired. An ordinary student, without any real close friends. Everyone in the school was like an isolated island. Occasionally, we'd shout a few words to each other. then return to living in our own worlds. I didn't know what my island was. So in the second semester of 12th grade, I had an idea. I would study design later, to create a home that I truly loved. That year, the pressure felt like it weighed down the entire road from home to school. I couldn't find a way to let it out. I should have overcome it, if it weren't for the variable that appeared in my life, Nina. She held out her hand. Like an escape route, I messaged back in the comments. Nina, please agree to go with him. That night, in my dream, I saw my 2024 self being pulled by the hand by a girl. The two of them running against the flow of students leaving school, escaping the supervisor's eyes, climbing over the school wall, and then laughing loudly in the street of freedom. They both sat on the old, simple Ferris wheel. I said, this is the first time I've felt so free. High up, the wind blew softly. Nina spread her arms and yelled a few times, then turned back to look at me and smiled. Paul, welcome to the free skipping class hour. But now, think about this. How do we fix this damn Ferris wheel? I burst out laughing. In the moment the wheel stopped midair. I just sat there, looking at her back, and clearly heard the voice of my own heart. Welcome to my island. Waking up, I knew I was in real trouble. Because my 2024 self, that anime-loving, introverted, and shy student, had begun to, like Nina. But I told myself, this is the price to pay for changing destiny. So I continued to synchronize memories with her, recounting all the desires and thoughts of my past self, so Nina could help me fulfill them one by one. I once wanted to play ranked games during self-study, so she secretly passed the phone to Valverde 2024. I once was curious to try cheating on an exam, so she pulled me aside to learn how to write a cheat sheet during review time. I once wanted to try an awesome dunk. She helped me drag a table onto the court, so I could complete the only dunk of my life, only to have the ball hit her head as it fell, and be chased around the court by her. During the day, Nina tried to win over my 2024 self. At night, she fiercely argued with my 2025 self. Gradually, my 2024 self and she started walking home together after school. Whether intentionally or unintentionally, the time they spent together grew longer and longer. Although the conversations in my dreams were all trivial things, they were strangely warm. Nina, how do you always know what I want? Hee, because I'm a fire-breathing dragon god. A Pokemon, you know? We can have psychic communication. Are you sick? It's true. I'm just hoping you fulfill what you haven't done yet. Hey, you talk as if I'm about to die. Hee, you won't die. If you die, I'll turn into a ninja and follow you immediately. Both of us burst into laughter. My 2024 self put his arm around her shoulder, laughing until his stomach hurt. You really are an idiot, making up all sorts of identities. I'm not making them up. In 2024, I'm a ninja. And in 2025, I'm an angel. Both exist for you. Paul, you have to take responsibility for me. Day after day, the road home felt infinitely long, and every sleep of mine merged with the memories of the past. May 2024, Paul slowly fell in love with Nina. And then, the day arrived, when we reached the turn where we had to part ways. Nina suddenly asked me a question. Paul, have you ever thought about trying? I was startled. Trying what? It's exactly what the words mean. She paused for a moment, then gave a faint smile. For example, if I died, how would you feel? I thought for a long time, but couldn't give an answer. Don't talk nonsense, I gently scolded. Nina laughed, scratched her head, and turned to leave. Hey, I quickly called after her. She turned back and saw me raise my hand, grinning and grimacing, pretending to be fierce as I threatened. You have to live for me. You absolutely must do well on the exam. Nina was slightly stunned, then laughed loudly. Don't worry, I already know which school I'm going to. With that, she waved her hand and turned to walk away. I watched her receding figure, and silently whispered a sentence in my heart. Live for me, Nina. When I woke up, I realized something. Time was running out. That day was June 6th. Tomorrow, the university entrance exam would begin. Yet, I still hadn't done the most important thing. It was time. Time for Nina to say the confession she had kept in her heart. I posted a comment in our conversation thread. So, go confess today. I've even thought of the final words for you. Tell my 2024 self that. Don't sign up for the engineering major. Or I'll turn into a ghost. And crawl into your phone every day. It was a long time before Nina responded. Is it too soon? What if I fail? No, go. I have a feeling you're up to something. I thought for a moment, then decided to speak my heart. Actually, my 2024 self is starting to like you a little. The result was that she only let out a foolish laugh and said nothing more. It wasn't until the sunset that a new status update from her appeared, a very long one. I used to think, as long as I confessed to you, I would have no regrets. But now I understand, even if I had your help, to make the 2024 you like me. If we really fell in love, and I irresponsibly left, wouldn't that be even more regrettable? Paul, do you understand? I looked at those lines and didn't know how to reply. Finally, I just typed one sentence. So, what are you going to do? There was no more reply. That night, I washed my face early and lay down to sleep. In my dream, I returned to 2024 again and witnessed the entirety of that day. Throughout the day, Nina never came to find my past self. It wasn't until after school was over that she called me over near the school gate. The two of us walked side by side on the quiet road, talking about trivial things as we walked, like an old married couple living peacefully through ordinary days. When there was only one street lamp left until my house, Nina gently pulled my hand back. I blushed, and she asked, Paul, have you thought about what major you'll choose in university? I was stunned. Even I, from the narrator's perspective, was speechless. Yes, I replied. I want to study engineering. She nodded, her voice light as the wind. That major is very tough. Why don't you choose design? I smiled smugly. Because engineering is more comprehensive. But it will still be very hard. She smiled sadly. You have to go to the construction site for internships, right? I tilted my head, replying. But if I get to live in a house I built with my own hands, all the difficulties will be worth it. You won't regret it? You're strange. I frowned at her. What is there to regret about doing what I love? Nina was slightly absent-minded. Then under the street lamp, she smiled with relief. Yes, you're right. But if you regret it in the future, then the current me must have been wrong. By then, you absolutely must wake up that idiot. I looked at Nina. Everything gradually blurred like morning mist. Only her voice echoed in my ear. Very soft, very warm. All right, I will live on. I woke up with a start. It was already morning. I raised my hand to my face. The tear stains were dry. I opened my phone, intending to write another line to her, but didn't know how to start. Because right now, I didn't know. In what capacity should I face Nina anymore? Should I say, thank you, or tease each other as before? In the end, I only sent one short message. I really do like you. Nina. You're just average, though. I hesitated for a long time, then typed one more sentence. Or, you should still go and confess to the 2024 me. What are you thinking? Do you still want to take the exam seriously? No more talking, I'm logging off now. Remember to check my profile. It was then that I suddenly remembered. Today is June 7th, the university entrance exam day. It is also the day Nina passed away. She ultimately did not confess to my 2024 self. But this time, it was her own choice. The girl who once stood on the awards stage, then became the subject of everyone's laughter, chose to leave in solitude, just so the boy she liked would not have to live a lifetime haunted by it. I stared blankly at my phone, unaware when the tears started falling again. Nina, thank you. Thank you for helping me complete an exercise of my youth, about innocent love and unfinished dreams. Thank you for appearing in my past, and then choosing not to disturb my future. Then, that day arrived. I took leave from class. Sitting in the dorm, seriously waiting for Nina's message. I still thought she would take advantage of the exam break to message me a few lines. But the entire morning passed, and Nina still did not reply. I called and messaged repeatedly. Only my monologue remained on the silent screen. Could it be she really died? I sat there numbly, my heart heavy. And before I could silently utter a prayer, The fire-breathing dragon full of vitality finally updated her status. I quickly looked, only to see her using exclamation marks repeatedly, as if in an emergency situation. Paul, didn't you bring your phone today? Why can't I reach you? It was the first time I had seen Nina panic like this. And my heart also started to race. What happened? I tried to recall that day. And replied, today is the first day of the exam. I turned on airplane mode after the test. I'll only turn it back on when I get home. Immediately, she replied, do you know? The thugs who tried to hurt me last time. Now they are targeting you. I was stunned. What are you talking about? I just walked past the stairs and heard their underlings making a call in the bathroom. They said you ruined their plan a few days ago. So they planned to stab you twice before the afternoon exam. I was speechless. Is it true? But in my memory, the first day of the university exam was peaceful. Nothing happened to me. I looked at the screen, my mind a mess. What the hell is this? Nina also gradually calmed down. She only sent one more sentence. Can you ask Director Mark at the orphanage about how I died? Mr. Mark is the director of the orphanage where we grew up. Hearing this, my heart tightened. A dreadful premonition rose within me. I immediately called him, insisting on every detail about Nina's death. Mr. Mark said, it was true that she died from a heart condition. She collapsed on the road. By the time people found her, it was too late. I kept asking. And finally, he remembered a few more details. She died on the noon of June 7th. On the road near my house. She had a few minor injuries on her body, which the police judged were due to falling during the episode. I asked for the exact location again, and suddenly realized that was the road I took home that day. I dropped the phone, my entire body shaking. A terrifying hypothesis forming in my mind. Could it be? On the noon of June 7th, 2024, Nina heard that someone wanted to harm me. So she ran to stop them. And in her panic and exertion, her heart condition flared up. And she collapsed. And I was the one who survived without knowing it. I never thought, on that university entrance exam day, a girl had died to protect me. My hands were trembling violently. I dared not message anything more. But just then, Nina messaged again. Paul, don't be silent like that. I understand. Normally, I didn't do anything. So how could I suddenly die from a heart condition? So, my death can be considered glorious, right? I typed furiously. Don't go, Nina. If something really is happening, call the police. Listen to me, call the police right now. On the screen, her final line appeared. But they are already on the road looking for you. They might arrive soon. Don't worry, Paul. I have already called the police. I will also protect myself. But before I can do that, I absolutely will not allow the Paul of 2024 to get hurt saving me. After that message, she didn't message anything more. I panicked, frantically sending one message after another. Don't go. Come back. Go take your exam. Hear me? You're just a girl. What good will it do for you to go there? You're just a dragon who can't breathe fire. You'll die, Nina. I will translate the text to English, preserving the line breaks and adding appropriate punctuation, while keeping the original character names and omitting the phrase, English translation, when we reached the turn where we had to part ways. Nina suddenly asked me a question. Paul, have you ever thought about trying? I was startled. Trying what? It's exactly what the words mean. She paused for a moment, then gave a faint smile. For example, if I died, how would you feel? I thought for a long time, but couldn't give an answer. Don't talk nonsense, I gently scolded. Nina laughed, scratched her head, and turned to leave. Hey, I quickly called after her. She turned back and saw me raise my hand. Grinning and grimacing, pretending to be fierce as I threatened. You have to live for me. You absolutely must do well on the exam. Nina was slightly stunned, then laughed loudly. Don't worry, I already know which school I'm going to. With that, she waved her hand and turned to walk away. I watched her receding figure, and silently whispered a sentence in my heart. Live for me, Nina. When I woke up, I realized something. Time was running out. That day was June 6th. Tomorrow The university entrance exam would begin. Yet, I still hadn't done the most important thing. It was time. Time for Nina to say the confession she had kept in her heart. I posted a comment in our conversation thread. So, go confess today. I've even thought of the final words for you. Tell my 2024 self that. Don't sign up for the engineering major. Or I'll turn into a ghost. And crawl into your phone every day. It was a long time before Nina responded. Is it too soon? What if I fail? No, go. I have a feeling you're up to something. I thought for a moment, then decided to speak my heart. Actually, my 2024 self is starting to like you a little. The result was that she only let out a foolish laugh and said nothing more. It wasn't until the sunset that a new status update from her appeared, a very long one. I used to think, as long as I confessed to you, I would have no regrets. But now I understand. Even if I had your help to make the 2024 you like me. If we really fell in love, and I irresponsibly left, wouldn't that be even more regrettable? Paul, do you understand? I looked at those lines and didn't know how to reply. Finally, I just typed one sentence. So, what are you going to do? There was no more reply. That night, I washed my face early and lay down to sleep. In my dream, I returned to 2024 again and witnessed the entirety of that day. Throughout the day, Nina never came to find my past self. It wasn't until after school was over that she called me over near the school gate. The two of us walked side by side on the quiet road, talking about trivial things as we walked, like an old married couple living peacefully through ordinary days. When there was only one street lamp left until my house, Nina gently pulled my hand back. I blushed, and she asked, Paul, have you thought about what major you'll choose in university? I was stunned. Even I, from the narrator's perspective, was speechless. Yes, I replied. I want to study engineering. She nodded, her voice light as the wind. That major is very tough. Why don't you choose design? I smiled smugly. Because engineering is more comprehensive. But it will still be very hard. She smiled sadly. You have to go to the construction site for internships, right? I tilted my head, replying. But if I get to live in a house I built with my own hands, all the difficulties will be worth it. You won't regret it? You're strange. I frowned at her. What is there to regret about doing what I love? Nina was slightly absent-minded. Then under the street lamp, she smiled with relief. Yes, you're right. But if you regret it in the future, then the current me must have been wrong. By then, you absolutely must wake up that idiot. I looked at Nina. Everything gradually blurred like morning mist. Only her voice echoed in my ear. Very soft, very warm. All right, I will live on. I woke up with a start. It was already morning. I raised my hand to my face. The tear stains were dry. I opened my phone, intending to write another line to her, but didn't know how to start. Because right now, I didn't know. In what capacity should I face Nina anymore? The figure of that student from the past, standing at the two ends of time, reaching out to touch. Nina, have you been gone for a year? Or just a day? I'm starting to miss you. Even if it's just in a dream. I really want to see you again. I lay sprawled on the desk, my eyes looking out the window. The leaves scorched by the summer sun. The entire summer seemed strangely tasteless. Wait a moment. How can I see her again? In my memory. Besides talking through a few lines of text on the short video platform. And in those dreams filled with memories, I only came very close to Nina once. I pulled out my phone. That was the time we arranged to delete the video account together. I grabbed my phone and rushed out of the classroom like a whirlwind. Back in the dorm, I tried to remain calm, holding the phone tightly in my hand. According to my previous deduction, as long as Nina and I from two different times do the same action at the exact same moment, the two spaces might overlap. Do I have a chance to see her again? In other words, I must know exactly what Nina was doing at a specific time in 2024. Then adjust the time on my phone to match hers moment by moment. I immediately remembered the scheduled email. The letter Nina had written and pressed send on. At 12:23 p.m. on June 7, 2024. I opened that letter again. Copied every word. then set the exact same scheduled send time, while also adjusting the time on my phone to 12:23 p.m. on June 7, 2025. The second hand was moving rhythmically. I held my breath, waiting until the 51st second. This was a reckless, foolish act, but also the time I most desperately wanted to succeed. The second hand finally pointed to 51. In that brief moment, I felt like I had waited an entire century. My finger pressed hard on the send button. In just a blink of an eye, a humming sound, like a swirling wind, echoed all around. A powerful pulling force surged. Before I could react, I was sucked into a white time vortex. The phone in my hand was burning hot, as if it was about to be torn to shreds. I hugged it tightly to my chest, feeling my body being ripped apart, but unwilling to let go. I just wanted to see Nina again, even just once, as my 2025 self. If I were to disappear because of this, I would have no regrets. Because I know, if I don't do this, this matter will forever be a thorn, stuck in my heart for life. While my thoughts were still chaotic, suddenly, the pulling force on my body vanished. I lost my balance, and quickly grabbed hold of a cold wall. Looking up, this is the restroom? In front of me, a familiar girl was leaning against the window, still holding her phone, her eyes wide as she stared at me in shock. The speaker on her phone was still softly playing music, the song stopping mid-track. She frowned and said, "What is this?" "This is the ladies' room." Then, in a blink, slightly confused, "Paul, why are you crying?" I didn't say anything, just rushed forward and embraced Nina, hugging her real warmth, hugging the smell of sunshine and student sweat, hugging the familiar uniform. In Nina's arms, I was crying and laughing at the same time. She seemed confused, and after nearly a minute, she tentatively placed her hand on my back, gently patting. "It's okay, Paul. Where did you come from?" I laughed hoarsely and said, "Of course, I came from 2025. I came to educate a fire breather like you." She giggled. "Huh, so you're Charizard, I guess?" That noon, I rode my bicycle carrying Nina in the direction of my house. After understanding what had happened, Nina sat behind me and asked, "So, did I end up dying at the hands of those thugs?" I replied, "Not exactly. According to what a classmate recounted, you caught up with them, held onto the leader, and were pushed to the ground. Because you ran too quickly and were too stressed. Your heart couldn't take it. And the condition flared up right then." Nina was silent for a moment, then asked softly, "So, did I call the police?" "You did call. But it took them a while to arrive." "Oh, hey. Paul, you look a little different." She giggled. "The you of this year, you've gained weight. I think you should just stay in 2024. Before I could react, she suddenly froze. "Wait, I think that's them." Ahead, 4 thugs were blocking the road, smoking and laughing. I stopped the bicycle, let her get off, then picked up a wooden stick by the side of the road, and stepped forward. They were momentarily panicked. The blonde one whispered, "Hey, why does that student from the other day look like a mafia guy now?" The leader frowned. "Maybe it's his older brother." I said coldly, "The police will arrive in 20 minutes. Before they do, let's see what you plan to do to me." Beside me, Nina had removed the bicycle seat, holding the metal pole, and said with great spirit, "Hit me. If you hit me, I'll die instantly. Let's see if you dare." The blonde one turned back and whispered, "Boss, what do we do now?" The leader swallowed hard, his voice trembling. "These two are not normal people." He glanced between the two of us, raised his head, took a deep breath, and waved his hand. "I didn't come here to fight. The thing I hate most in my life is ruining someone else's love story. You two carry on, I'm withdrawing." With that, all 4 scruffy guys quickly ran away. Nina leaned the steel rod against the ground, her face full of emotion. "I can't believe I almost died because of such imbeciles." I was about to correct her words when I realized I couldn't speak. I only heard Nina's voice tremble. "Paul, you're changing color." I wanted to joke that I wasn't a chameleon, but in the silence, I saw my body gradually becoming transparent. I turned my head, Through a shop window on the street, I saw a familiar figure slowly walking further away. I looked towards Nina. She smiled gently. "Don't worry. I'll know how to take care of myself." I nodded, then closed my eyes. I felt nothing more. When I opened my eyes, I was back in the 2025 dorm room. Everything was exactly the same. The phone in my hand was still the same phone. So, does that mean nothing changed? A sense of emptiness surged. I gripped the phone tightly, tears streaming down. But within the sadness, there was a little gratitude. Perhaps meeting her once in my life was already the greatest gift fate could give me. About half an hour later, I wiped my tears and prepared to return to the lecture hall. Walking through the empty schoolyard, my mind was still hazy until I heard arguing outside the gate. I turned my head and froze in place. A girl was arguing with the security guard. "Uncle, my boyfriend is waiting for me." The security guard was annoyed. "No early dating. Go home, miss." The girl angrily argued. "This is a university, sir. Did you just start working today?" The security guard glared at her, then turned his head to look at the lecture building. My eyes just happened to meet her eyes. Oh my God. I couldn't believe my eyes. It was Nina. A slightly more mature Nina. Still that smile. Still those clear eyes. She happily waved and called out, "Paul, I left you that day. And even sold my phone right away. I was afraid that if I stayed connected to the 2024 you, the present you would disappear." With that, she passed the gate, running quickly towards me, and hugged me tightly. My whole body trembled. One hand held her shoulder tightly. The other held her head, pressing her against my chest. Afraid that if I let go, everything would vanish like a dream. My voice was shaking. Where did you come from?" Nina chuckled softly. Still that clear voice. "From 2024, of course. I'm the fire-breathing dragon." She raised her finger and teased. "I waited a whole year before daring to come find you." I was both angry and amused, taking her hand, and choked out, "If this dream gave me any more memory, I would have spent the last year just scolding you." Nina lifted her head from my chest, her tear-filled eyes shining with a smile. "It's okay. I can use my whole life to make you forgive me." June 9th, 2025. The hot afternoon, the pavement scorching. I was laughing and crying amidst the sound of cicadas and the dazzling sunlight. They say, people who are truly in love will always find each other. I believe that. And on the day we reunited, the sunlight was truly warm. I looked up. Under the sun, the girl in front of me was smiling. A smile that made the entire summer brilliant.